Welcome to another episode of the Lovers and Things podcast.
Where your favorite couple's favorite couple
Talks about the things they
love.
love.
Wow,
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
I came with it today. I can't wait the vocal today.
Oh boy,
With the vocal
I'm
today.
not hype her up anymore.
Well, hello guys. Welcome back to another episode.
Another episode. Don't you feel like cozy? Don't you feel comfy? It's another episode. Back at it.
Sure.
No,
I feel cozy-ish.
cozy-ish.
I feel cozy light.
Mm, that's good.
Cozy adjacent, if you
Yeah.
will.
I had nowhere to go with that. That's
No,
all right.
it's okay. No, I do feel cozy. I do feel
Good.
cozy.
It's good to feel cozy.
I hope you guys are feeling cozy at home too, watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You know, your
Right.
options are endless.
Right. Can we acknowledge the options?
Can we acknowledge the options?
Acknowledge the options,
Yeah,
y'all.
we
Get
started the
into
year off
it.
strong. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like most people are really tapping into YouTube.
You
I
think
feel
so?
Like, I feel like most, I guess statistically, yes. Most people
Because y'all know
are
Greg got the
tapping in.
statistics.
Yeah, I got the
honey.
statistics. Statistically, most people are
Statistically.
tapping in on the visuals. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I'm with it. You know, because I think it's a little bit more engaging. Like
Mm,
listening to us is good, especially if you're on the way to work, if you're working out, you know, things like that. It's super cool. But if you have the time to look at us, why
have at
not
it.
look at us? I guess.
Yeah. So shout out to y'all.
Yeah. Shout out
Tapping
to you
in
guys.
audioly?
Yeah. Audioly.
Orally?
Audio.
No, what is
orally.
AURAL?
Huh?
Isn't that a word? AURAL?
Yo, did you make that
Oral?
up? In my mind, I'm like caching through all of the words that I know, and I'm like, I've never seen that one. I've never seen that one.
Audioly and visually.
Sure.
Go with that. So let me get us back on track.
Lot.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I am doing good. I feel really good this week. I feel like, going into, you guys know I just had a birthday. I'm feeling real grown. I'm feeling real mature. I'm feeling very in myself, very confident in myself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I had my first acupuncture appointment ever in life last week.
Yeah.
Acupuncture.
Tapping into some Eastern medicine.
Tapping into
if you will.
some Eastern medicine. Absolutely. You guys may not be aware, but my sister is a trained massage therapist. She's trained in a traditional Chinese medicine. And so she has been putting me on to all things Eastern medicine. And boy, if you ever want to get into a deep dive on Eastern versus Western medicine and the view of healing the body versus treating symptoms, like it's a whole thing. But I think a lot of Eastern medicine focuses on getting to the root of what may be your physical issues, your ailments, stress, anxiety, physical pains, all sorts of stuff. Like whatever you need your body to do,
Yeah.
there's usually some sort of natural, physical something that can help you, get to a better place. I think that's sort of the focus. People who are trained in that can tell you better than I can.
Yeah.
But I like that. I feel like that very much aligns with who I am as a person. I don't like to just throw medicine at stuff if I can.
Bandages.
Yeah, bandages. Some of you know that I've been on an anti-inflammation journey for a number of years now,
Yeah.
watching what I eat to ensure that the inflammation in my body is down, because inflammation is at the root of lots of diseases, general ailments. If your skin ain't acting right, is inflammation. If your gut ain't acting right, is inflammation. If your partner ain't acting right, he's inflamed. I'm just kidding. He's
Yeah.
inflamed too, or they. But anyway, so I went to get my acupuncture appointment. My sister scheduled it for me, and it was a life-changing experience. Like
Yeah.
it literally was so good. I ended up going with a practitioner of color, which was amazing because they're few and far between in that particular space. And she just ran through, what are you looking for to do in this appointment? What is your day-to-day like? What are your habits, your sleeping habits? How high are your anxiety and stress levels? How often do you exercise? Like she read me down.
Yeah.
And then based on that and where I wanted to be at the end of the appointment, she set up an entire sort of moment for me.
Yeah, an acupuncture moment.
Acupuncture. I also got ear seeds, which are small little sort of dots that you get put in your ears that are different pressure points that relate to, again, whatever it is you're trying to solve for. And I also did cupping, which is another aspect of TCM and traditional Chinese medicine. So it was my first time going and I enjoyed it. I'm
That's really
going
cool.
back every 2 weeks. So I see her in another week and a half.
Mm.
Because yeah, why not?
So you got the needles.
I got the
The
needles.
needles. Now were they
Got the
on
needles
your
and the cups. The
on your
needles and the cups.
back, on the front?
I did back work when I went. We'll probably do some front work the next time I go.
Uh-huh.
But back work. So she pinned me. I couldn't feel a thing
You
until
couldn't
she got
feel
to
them.
my shoulders.
Okay, what happened on the shoulders?
Well, apparently the shoulders hold a lot of muscle and tension, and there's some nerves there.
Oh, okay.
So when she pricked my shoulders,
It's
my
more like,
shoulders
yeah.
actually responded back, like my
Yeah.
muscles jumped.
Uh-huh.
But for the rest of my body, she pinned me in my legs all the way up to my shoulders, and I didn't feel anything really.
Mm-hmm.
And pinning is probably not the right language. I'm sure somebody who does acupuncture is probably like,
Poking.
pinning's not the terminology. Okay, work with
Yeah.
me. But yeah, and it
Okay.
was great. And then after that, I laid out for I think 20 to 30 minutes. They just allow you to just kind of sit there
With the
with the things on your
the
back.
things
I
on
had
your
both
back.
the
Okay.
needles and the cups on my back at that point.
Oh,
Just
okay.
laid out. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
They put headphones on my ear. There was a guided meditation. Very nice.
What an experience.
What an experience. And then she comes back in and she's like, I'm here. Are you okay?
Oh,
I'm
wow.
back here. It's just like very,
Yeah.
very touchy-feely. It's very cool.
That sounds great.
And then yeah, they allow you to dress yourself. You're naked from the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
They allow you to dress yourself, take your time, drink some tea, and then head on out.
Wow. And
Top tier experience.
Okay. So then now
Yeah.
you've gone through this experience.
I have.
So how did you feel afterwards?
I felt really good afterwards.
Mm.
I think more so because I had taken a nap and I was tired. So I mean,
Maybe
immediately
that's
I
what you
felt
needed,
good.
a nap.
I needed a nap. I went directly after work. I needed that nap.
Yeah.
But in the days following, I think I'd even shared with you,
Mm-hmm.
I felt so good. Y'all, when I tell you, my mood was lifted. I had been experiencing some joint pain and other pains in my
Yeah.
body. Those disappeared. Like, it's weird how quickly those things just went away. And
Interesting.
nothing else in my life changed. Like, I kept
Yeah.
doing everything else I usually do.
And you just felt
Um,
better.
I felt better. I felt more calm. And then with the ear seeds, again, those little pinpoints in your ear, you keep them in for 5 days and you kind of just like rub them throughout the day, give them a little bit of pressure to kind of, remind yourself
Do their thing, yeah.
so they can do their thing. Yeah, sure. And I did that and it would just keep me together. Like there were some points
Wow.
during the day where I'd just be like rubbing my little ear seeds and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it felt great.
That's interesting.
It is, and I know that TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, it's not really stuff that we see done in the Black community very often because it's just not part of our culture. But because of my sister, I've been able to kind of have like a pathway into a different sort of holistic way of living, and
Mm.
I like it. I'm
I love
interested.
it.
So
More
yeah,
options, the
y'all,
better.
real grown, real mature. Because who does acupuncture? I do.
Yeah. Sometimes, honestly, it's sometimes that that nap. That's what you really
Listen,
be needing.
the
'Cause, like,
nap took me out. It
yeah,
did.
I remember when I used to do yoga,
Mm-hmm.
and there'd be a moment in yoga where you had to have a silent moment,
Yeah.
and 18 seconds, I'm out. I'm just gone. Like and I feel bad because like I'm all mad, and I'm like, I probably have snored,
Yeah, I've been in a yoga
and
class with you. You give a little snore.
and I'm like, my goodness, I hope there's no slobber on me. I hope you can. My eyes are bloodshot red, like you got those crease marks on your forehead from the
Yeah.
nap. I'm like, you gotta. Like, it's you got. There's like a different type of napping you have to do in yoga.
Yeah.
More like conscious nap. Like you napping, but you're not really napping.
I have a funny
You have to
story
be a kind
about
of
this.
aware.
I agree. I have a funny story.
Uh-huh.
When I was in college, I had this one friend who will remain nameless. We don't talk anymore, so she will remain nameless for no
Mhm.
bad reasons. We just, life. Used to go to fitness classes together all the time at the UCF gym. That's where we went to school, University of Central Florida.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Which
gym, by the way.
yeah, if you want any sides of where your tuition is
Stunning
going,
facility.
it's that gym.
That's where your money is going, okay?
Premier, like Equinox could never.
Yeah, Equinox can never. UCF gym, top tier.
Yeah.
Like everything you could possibly want.
Insane.
And so in the fitness rooms, we used to go to Zumba together. I started my Zumba journey. Actually, early then, we used to
Wow.
go to Zumba class or with classes. And then we used to take yoga classes.
Uh-huh.
And I used to hate going to yoga with this girl,
Mm.
even though like we were good friends. Like she's chill, but she was known for falling asleep anywhere.
Oh,
Anywhere.
yeah.
We'd be hanging out, she'd be asleep.
Like narco.
We'd be like in the movie,
narcoleptic.
she'd be asleep.
Is that what it
We'd be
was?
headed out, she'd be asleep in the car on the way there. Yeah, she
Yeah,
just
just
sleep. But when I tell you this one yoga class, the one that tipped me off to now we can't do this no more. We were in class and that part happens at the end. You relax and you release.
Uh-huh.
When I tell you this girl was snoring so
Oh my
loud, the
gosh.
entire class could hear her. And here I am like, girl, wake
Like,
up.
it's not
Wake
sleep. Sleep is
up.
just a
Like I'm
nap.
nudging her. She just
Oh
like
my
full
God.
on out in the middle of class. And then class is over. She's still sleeping. I'm like, wake up.
Oh,
And she's like,
whoa.
oh, oh. And I'm like, girl, you done embarrassed
It's like,
me
get
in
it
front of
together.
all these people. Let's
Yeah.
go. Get your stuff and let's go.
My goodness.
I was like, I can't do yoga with you anymore. You do this every time.
She probably got a medical condition
I
to
don't
be
know.
sleep
Maybe
like
it was
that.
low iron, honey, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do yoga with her no more.
Mm.
No more.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what my life is giving. It's giving
Yeah.
grown. It's giving TCM. It's giving holistic
Well, I
living.
love this journey for you. You know,
Thank
I love
you.
that.
What about you? What you been up to?
I guess
You're already laughing. What's going
no,
on?
you went on something so like deep, introspective,
No, that's
it like
me.
actually beneficial to the listeners.
Oh wait,
Maybe they can tap into something that like will improve their lives.
sure.
And I'm about to talk about something.
That's
I'm
the
kind of
yin and
embarrassed to
yang
get
of our
into it.
relationship. Like that's the yin and the yang, really.
Yeah, but so you know, like we're a product. Well, we're both are a product of the 1900s, right?
Sure.
And you know, we
Yes.
grew up in the era before online shopping,
Yes.
and that era was when you got shipments,
Mhm.
when you got boxes and packages.
Mhm.
That was a big deal.
Agreed.
Like it was a moment. Everyone gathers around the box.
Yeah.
And they grab the box cutter or the knife
Mhm.
and they like cut it open and you open it up and there's like a gift in there or something amazing in
This
there.
is when you had to order through like catalogs and pamphlets.
Catalogs or like a family member
On
sent
the
you
phone.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know, some big moment, right?
Mhm.
And even when online shopping did start, it was like occasional you
Yeah.
bought stuff and
Mhm.
it was always exciting. It was clothes, it was some shoes or it was whatever, an electronic gadget.
Sure.
And I think nowadays with the over consumption of Amazon orders that we've
Oh boy.
dived into,
You just gonna keep bringing up my faults on this podcast.
our faults because I've lost excitement over packages.
Yeah, I don't
That
even open them
excitement,
right away no more.
and even when like Amazon first gained traction, I remember like, what did I get? Oh my god, what did I get? Like, oh, and then you crack into it.
Mhm.
Now it's like a toilet bowl cleaner,
Sure.
like some sponges. Like it's like
Mhm.
real dry and like I've lost the excitement for for packages. Like it's just like now they
Okay.
come around, I'm not even bothering opening them up.
Mhm.
It's like I've bought more boring things online than I've bought
Yeah.
exciting things. I've
Okay.
reached that like flip over
Sure.
point. And now it's just mundane now. It's just and
Adulthood
I'm begrudgingly opening boxes and I'm breaking them down
happens.
and yeah, I've lost that glimmer in my eye
Wow.
for the excitement of a delivery.
You hate to see
You
it.
know, it's just over.
You hate
I'm
to
not
see
excited
it.
anymore.
No, I mean, unless of course the box is from like somewhere not Amazon. I think if it's a not Amazon box, you get a little bit
You
excited.
get a little bit excited. Okay,
But if it's
yeah,
an Amazon box, it's just, you know.
yeah. When I see them in the Ring camera chucking, because they always throw it,
They are always
throwing
throwing them.
the my Zara boxes, throwing it on the porch, or
Yeah.
throwing the like another any clothing store. Yeah, I do get excited for those, and I
Mhm.
rush and I open the door and I
Yeah,
bring them in.
that's a big
But
deal.
Amazon, it's like what do I get?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Amazon's like going to the grocery
Yeah,
store, you know?
you
I mean,
know,
you need it, but yeah, it's not the most
I got more
exciting thing in the
Ziploc
world.
bags. You know, Brita filter.
Right, so
It's not exciting at all.
no, I
Yeah,
get
but
that.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel this sentiment,
Oh.
especially those who were born in in the 20th century.
Mhm.
Those who can relate to the days of getting that package at that door and that excitement. And now
Yeah.
it's just like business as usual.
I know. I remember there used to be this one place that I wanted to order from so badly.
Hmm.
But I was always afraid of the idea of like you ordering into like the ether and then like is it going to
Sketch
arrive?
sites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't even a sketch site, it was Delia's. I don't know if the girls remember. You guys remember Delia's, Delias? It was like
Mm.
a tweenish sort of place. They used to actually have a physical one in the mall in Sarasota where I grew up. but they never had my size, right?
Yeah.
But they had a catalog that you could order from, right? Where they had extended offerings and things like that.
Yeah.
And I never felt comfortable ordering because I'm just like,
How does this work?
how does this work?
Because they had the envelope in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's like how to.
The envelope in the middle, was
Yeah,
that one of those catalogs?
I think so. I'm
And
pretty
you
sure.
fill out,
Or you could
put the
call
code
in
in.
and place the order with like your credit card.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
mama wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Like my mama not giving her card out to some random person on the phone.
On the phone, oh, God forbid,
you know. So yeah, a different time for sure.
Yeah, that was like East Bay. Did you ever crack
What
into
is
East Bay?
East
See,
Bay?
this is what I'm dealing with.
What
y'all.
is East Bay?
East Bay was a sneaker magazine.
No, I don't know.
Oh,
East
man,
Bay.
that was
I
the
didn't
thing.
wear sneakers. I
you
was
could-
wearing jelly shoes and like platform Skechers. What do you
You
mean?
clearly weren't checking for the latest J's or anything like that. But yeah, East Bay was free. Everyone, you subscribe to East Bay, and they'd send you every month a catalog.
Oh, that's cute.
And you thumb through them and see the sneakers, the newest drops, and they would we would bring it to school and make executive decisions on which sneakers we're gonna buy.
Okay.
East Bay was the part of the culture.
All right, East
yeah.
Bay.
And I think I don't think they survived. I think they had a e-commerce transition into the 2000s, obviously, and then I think they kind of waned away like a few years ago. East Bay.
East
But yeah,
Bay.
the real ones know about East Bay.
I think the only sneaker place that I remember getting into later, and this is when there was a very particular time where like sportswear was a thing, like jersey dresses and heeled sneakers. Y'all remember the era? Don't play with me. Y'all remember
What a
the
dark
era?
time.
And I remember my cousins.
This was before business casual in the club era.
Yeah, this is when this is before that. This is when we were still getting hot and hurt.
Sweatband, wristbands.
Yeah, you know the vibes.
Nelly.
Yes.
Nelly was responsible for a lot of this.
That's the era I'm talking
50 Cent,
about.
yeah.
So my cousins used to be more sporty than myself. They're a little bit older, and they played sports like in life, so they were way more sporty.
Okay.
And so they turned me on to Dr. J's. Dr. J's.
Yeah, I
remember
that,
Dr. J's? But like I used to go online and I never pronounced it Dr. J's because I didn't realize it was doctor. I used to be like, oh, I'm gonna go on DRJ's and look at stuff because I didn't realize it was supposed to be Dr.
Oh, you thought it was DRJ's?
I thought it was DRJ's for years.
Oh my goodness,
for
girl.
years I thought it was DRJ's.
Wow.
And then I had to be humbled. They're like, it's not DRJ's.
DRJ's.
And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to my sandals.
Yeah,
It's
your
not for me.
jellies.
Not for me.
What an unfortunate case of events. Look at
I know.
that.
I've never been a sporty
DRJ's.
girl. Yeah, I'm not a sports girl.
Yeah, because I you try to crack into the sneaker. You got some sneakers a little bit
By
that
default.
you tapped into a little bit.
Yeah, by
You
default I
don't
do.
really wear.
Yeah, I do.
You got some Air Maxes,
I like my Air Maxes.
Air Max 97s.
Yeah,
and
I do.
is that it?
That's it. And I don't wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't talk because what do I have? I don't wear any sneakers. I wear chunky space boots.
You do.
Every single day.
We're a space boot family.
Yeah, you should see us coming down the street, y'all.
Woo.
You think it's
We look like something out of the
You think the
Matrix.
space
if you want me to
shuttle's
be
parked around the
honest,
corner.
right?
Yeah.
You want to be honest. It's a little much.
Yeah, you play the Matrix theme song. That's what we're walking with our coats flapping,
Big
leather
old
coats.
I'm wearing
flapping.
like a floor-length black
Yeah.
trench. Greg's got on his puffer.
So you look like the Matrix people in the world.
Yeah.
I look like the Matrix people on the shuttle.
You
like
do. That's the
with the
difference.
torn sweaters and all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that balance.
Wow, balance.
us.
Didn't I say the yin and yang? I
Yeah.
said that.
I'm glad we're aligned
It's
that way.
a mess, really.
Look at us.
Oh my gosh.
I
that's
just came
funny.
to that realization.
Yeah, in the
We're
moment.
both in Matrix, the first one, of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
None of that.
The
none of that new
best
stuff. The
one.
first one.
Yeah.
And
Keanu at his prime.
yeah, and you're in the world with your leather,
Yeah.
your shiny
I love
patent
that.
leather, your
That's
black
me.
coats,
That's
and things like that.
me.
And the
love it.
tactical gear, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm on the ship,
You're on the ship.
disgruntled
With
and,
layers and fabrics and
beaten
puffer
down.
things.
Yeah, and like distressed clothing. Yeah,
And I love it
look at
for
that
us.
balance.
It couples aesthetic.
I love that. All right, so what's next? We got some hot topics.
Oh my gosh. So we want to
Got
talk to
some
y'all about some
current
hot
events.
topics. Now, this one is hot off the press, honey. Hot off the press. Y'all have been blowing up the inbox asking for our perspective on this. The Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki beef. It came out of left field. Can I just say? It came out
I
of
guess
left
so,
field.
yeah.
Like, you
Didn't know
know
there
nothing
was
of
a
this.
beef between them.
Yeah, it came out of left field. It came out of left field.
Mhm.
For those of you who aren't aware, Meg dropped a diss track along with a beautiful visual. Find it on
Yeah, that
YouTube.
music video is like
That music video is lit. Can I just say, Megan been working out, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is Megan been working out. Okay, the gains are gaining.
yeah, but the production quality
The
is
top tier. It's a
pretty good.
beautiful video.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
Right. As we know, Meg the Stallion has been going through some difficult times this last year and a half. There's been the issue with Tory Lanez, who not even allegedly anymore, shot
He's
her,
convicted for
convicted, he in
yeah.
jail now, like, it's a whole
Yeah.
thing. But there's always been this weird thing in the culture where despite the fact that there's mounting evidence of the fact that Megan was, assaulted and hurt, there's this weird subset of the internet that just, like, don't like her
Yeah.
because she, like, she told on Tory, essentially.
Mm.
And it's created this weird divide in the culture of people who love Meg the Stallion
Yeah.
and people who don't really trust Meg the Stallion, which I find to be odd because, I mean, protect Black women at all costs is
Right.
always gonna be my mantra,
Yeah.
period.
Listen to women.
Yeah, listen to women,
Yeah.
like, it is what it is. But anyway, so she took a hiatus. She came back with the song Cobra, did really well. She took a little bit of a break. We didn't hear from her for like a couple of weeks, and now she's come back out with Hiss, which
Mhm.
assumably Cobra, Hiss, there's some snake sort of
Theme,
innuendo, there's
yeah.
some theming. She's officially an independent artist, by the way. So all the production that you see is not funded by any sort of
Good for her.
mega industry push. This is all her creative vision, and you can tell in how passionate she seems to be at her work in this stage. All that aside, Hiss is a diss track, okay?
Uh-huh.
It is a diss track, and she is laying the people out in this particular song.
Yeah.
The one line that has got the girls going
Mhm.
is the line that is assumably about Nicki Minaj, and we can say that it's about Nicki Minaj because Nicki responded.
Okay.
But in the song, she says, "These girls I'm using in place of another word, these girls aren't really mad at Megan. These girls are mad at Megan's law, right? On
Okay.
the surface level, okay, like what is that? I mean, maybe it's a rhyme, whatever, whatever. What
Okay.
she's saying is Megan's law is actually a statute that was put in place that says that sex offenders have to share their location back with the government whenever they move, whenever they're going to places. Sex
Mhm.
offenders can't be within a certain distances of schools and parks and things like that.
Yeah.
All of that falls under the Megan law statute, right?
Okay.
Very clever. Very clever because we know that Nicki Minaj is married to a registered sex offender. Her
Oh my
brother
goodness.
is a registered sex offender. And Nicki Minaj's husband, Mr. Petty, that's his last name, by the way. Kenneth Petty is his name. Actually was I think he
Pit.
was recently in trouble with the law because he was not reporting his location,
Oh
right?
boy. This is not
So
good.
it
Yeah.
it cut low. It's a low cut. It's a low cut, a clever cut, but a low cut
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
Not so like yeah, not so overt.
Not
And
so on the nose.
that's what makes a diss record good. When
That's
it's
what makes
like
it good.
it's the innuendo,
Yeah.
it's the between the
You know what
lines,
I
it's the
mean?
bars.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And so that's just one of the many pieces that she put in there. There's some references to, people talking about her body count. There's always,
Mhm.
conversation around women's bodies and how many people they're supposed to sleep with before they're no longer valued. She references that.
Yeah.
She references the cheating again, assumably about Partisan Fontaine. There's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
But
the
she like
Nicki
went on a whole
bar,
campaign after that, which was so odd.
oh my gosh,
It's
Party
like
is weird.
you
I'm
cheated, but now you're on a tour to
right. I'm
to
like,
talk
Party,
about this.
get off our airways with this. No one
Yeah.
knew about you before. We don't care now.
Mhm.
But yeah, so the whole song is just a big old diss. Beautiful. I thought it was well put together. I personally ain't had no problem with it
Yeah.
because I am a fan of rap culture. Rap
Mhm.
culture. I'm a fan of it. And a big part of that has always been the surface level beef. Right?
Yeah.
When you have two of the best in the ring, someone says something, it's a low cut. It's kind of like battling a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
and
it's just
it's
part of the
always
culture.
lyrical
It's
at the end of
always
the day.
lyrical.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. We don't take that stuff home. At least I don't think they do.
Right.
But y'all, Nicki was upset. Nicki was in her feelings and decided she was going to respond
With her own, right?
with her own diss track, which I thought was far less crafted and curated than Meg's. But I want your opinion on this. You've listened to both records, I assume, at this point.
Oh boy.
What are your thoughts?
As records, they don't compare. It's rough. Like the Nicki record, like you said, like you kind of alluded to, feels rushed and thrown together.
Mhm.
And then there's this part because we were just listening to, and at the end of it, she just starts talking, right?
She just starts talking.
Like kind of that weird kind of Nicki Minaj talk where it's
Mhm.
like this. It's kind of like she's talking to herself, a little bit deranged sounding.
Not deranged.
Uh,
Not
I
deranged,
think when
honey.
she was doing the Roman, I think I can't, I'm
It's
gonna
Roman. Roman is our alter ego.
alter ego thing back
Mhm.
in like the what do people call it, Audis? Is
Not the
that a
oddies.
thing? Remember people say that?
The
The
oddies?
Audis?
What the oddies?
The like oh 2000 to 2009.
Those are called the oddies?
They call those the Audis. And in the 10s, 20s.
Oh.
Audis.
Well, upskill me, sir. I had no
No
clue.
one says that.
Okay. I was like, I did not know.
But I just like saying obscure words like
Oh,
that.
yeah, no,
But
that's
she
fair.
said that back then in the early. She used to be like that back in the day. Like it
Mhm.
was alter ego and kind of characterful.
Yeah.
But then she was doing it for a little while, and I was like, okay, okay, so it's about to end, right? And I look, there's another minute of that left,
And we ain't even listened to the end of it, y'all.
and
I
I
ain't
was
gonna
like,
lie to you.
what? What is this? 2 minutes of her just kind of deranged talking? That's a little weird. And then I'm looking in the comments, and someone's like, this is like the feeling of being trapped on public transportation with like a crazy person, like that's just like
Just
talking to
talking.
themselves,
Just talking.
and someone's like, this could have been an email. This was a meeting that could have been an email.
I fully agree with
Um,
that.
but yeah, from a production value, I think from a this record, I mean, Megan's was the bars were hitting,
The bars are barring.
and it's just so much more clever. And then
Mhm.
and then the visuals to come along with it.
Oh,
This is
stunning.
I've never seen a disc record so well made
Yeah.
in my life.
Stunning.
I think it's more than a disc record. It's like a
Mhm.
record.
I think it's part
Um,
of a larger project for sure.
yeah, but man, the visuals was captivating.
Mhm.
And I think if someone comes at you like that, you kind of you got to match that energy.
Mm.
And in beef, I think in rap beef, like your art has to match the art.
Mhm.
It's just so happens she created the art at this level,
Yeah.
and your art got to kind of has to catch up to that level, unless you have a bomb that drops
Mhm.
that just tears the floor out of everything.
Right.
Hence the Drake. Remember the Drake when Pusha T called out Drake on the child
Mm.
thing,
Mhm.
and that officially killed that beef.
Yeah. We
Um,
ain't never hear of it
we
again.
never that ended the beef,
That was that.
and he became a very present father
Yeah, he gave a
as a
we
result
saw
of that.
Adonis 2 days later.
Yeah, 2 days later, we haven't stopped seeing him since. Good for them.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so to not have something that's gonna rip the floor out and
Yeah.
demolish the building
Mhm.
in a disc record, and to not match the quality of the art, I think is where the L is
Yeah.
in that regard.
I agree, and I also think that, prior to this record coming out, Nicki Minaj likes to go on live. She's one of those people that and I never follow her lives because frankly, Nicki Minaj to me, while I respect her as an artist, is not like nowhere in my top 10 like rap artists or hip hop artists. So like I pay
Yeah.
her dust truly. I respect her, but she's just not one of my favorites. But she's known for going on lives and doing these random rants. She's also known for having beef with every rap
Uh-huh.
artist in the industry, so this isn't new.
Okay.
But one of the things that she did on there and then she carried over to the disc record was talk about Megan's deceased mother. And I thought
Ooh.
that was tacky.
Yeah.
I thought that was tacky, right? Like, if we're gonna be clever about cutting people, the most gutter and sort of nasty thing you do that you don't get points for is talking about people's like families like that. Like
Yeah, or like and
her
not
mother that
deceased
passed
mother,
away that
yeah.
had nothing to do with this. Like,
Which is
what?
the worst thing that could happen. One of the worst things that
Yeah,
could happen to
and Megan
somebody,
was
and it's like
extremely young when she lost her mother, like, and I just thought that was so
just makes you look bad.
tasteless. Yeah, it makes you look like you hurt. You know what's funny? Megan also went on the Breakfast Club, and in reference to this, said one of my favorite lines of all time: "A hit dog will holler." And I know you. Whenever I say it,
I butcher it so
Greg,
bad.
Greg is always like, "What is it? A hit dog will squeal.
A hit
A hit chipmunk will chipper." I'm like,
a
no.
hit dog a holler.
It's a very southern saying. And she said it on the radio, and that's exactly what it felt like with Nicki. Like
Yeah.
she felt hit, and so she's just started going for the jugular, which I thought
Yeah.
was a little unbecoming of someone who's supposed to be like the queen of female hip hop and rap.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
think sitting confidently in a position does more for you
Yeah.
than desperately trying to win.
Ooh, it's the desperately trying to win
Yeah,
for
yeah, the desperate part is where
me.
kind of like you lose a lot of people, and it
I
really
agree.
is. People see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the beef. Let me know what you guys think about both of the tracks. You've heard our sort of perspective, Megan 1, Nicki 0. Sorry.
That
A
art.
and I hope that's the end of it. Like, I hope that's the end of it. And Nikki, you gonna have to do better with them lines, girl. Bigfoot, she got a big foot. I told her get up on her good foot. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Leave it alone. We done. Don't do that no
Yeah,
more.
it's not really hidden.
It didn't hit the way you thought it hit, ma'am.
Yeah,
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
not great.
Next.
Yeah.
But yes, let us know what you guys think about that beef.
Hmm.
I have another topic for you.
What's up? What you got?
In the vein of Black female greatness,
Oh, okay. I'm always here for that.
did you see the coverage of the Maison Margiela Runway Show?
I did. I did. It was very refreshing to see
Mm.
like a runway show of high fashion
Mm-hmm.
that is like impressive.
Impressive.
Not like shocking or controversial, which seems to have always get a lot of the headlines,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, oh, can you believe they put a big back TV on that person's chest? It's like, whoa, that's
Space
high
boots.
fashion. That's inventive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this was like actually like well designed
Mm-hmm.
clothing
Mm-hmm.
that had a beautiful, interesting theme to it.
Yeah.
That it's so in a sense like contrarian because everyone's has been moving so far into the future or what they think the future looks like.
Mm-hmm.
This one went back to Les
Yeah.
Miserables.
I know. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Didn't
and
it feel like an ode to that time?
yeah, and it was it looked dope. It looked like 1800s,
Mm-hmm.
like what people thought in 1600s
Mm-hmm.
thought they would do in the 1800s from a futuristic perspective.
I see.
A little dystopian,
Mm-hmm.
and like it looked like yeah, like a dystopian future of the
Mm-hmm.
1800s. If you could
Mm.
if you if you work with me and follow me on
Yeah,
this journey.
I do.
Yeah, it was very trippy. Everything looked pretty disheveled, but
Mm-hmm.
the fabric choices were like out of this world.
Yeah.
The cuts of everything, the tailoring and all that, and all the pieces came together really nicely, and it was really captivating
Mm-hmm.
to see that, and it was just so refreshing
Mm-hmm.
to not just see something that is done for just shock value,
Yeah.
and it's actually done for the merit of the clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it. I totally agree. It felt like a total sort of departure from what we've been seeing from Runway over the last couple of years. I think I was looking at was it the Chanel runway show? I think
Hmm.
it's the Chanel one that had literally all white. Everyone was wearing all white. The runway was white. Everyone was walking bare. Like, such a different, like, I think that's the vein things have been in a while. And hence what we see in fashion, monochromatic, clean lines. Like,
Yeah.
fashion for a long time has looked that way. So it was interesting to see how John Galliano, who is the artistic director for Maison Margiela, kind of really take this idea of, to your point, sort of a dystopian take on old world fashion
Hmm.
in a way that's so beautiful. And I was able to get some clips of the actual like beginning of the runway show and the drama of it.
Yeah.
When one of the models ran out really disheveled and was hunched over, and
Uh,
it was very dramatic, and there was some acting
yeah.
involved and some
Theatrical.
theater, and oh my gosh, the lines of the clothing and the accentuated waist and
Hmm.
the draping of the fabric, so beautiful. So
Yeah.
beautiful. And I also like the way that because it felt like an ode to the past, the way that the models were walking was also so cool.
Yeah.
Like, they felt like broken dolls almost in the way that
Yeah.
they were walking the runway, and it really pulled everything together. Um, but one of the most notable pieces for me, outside of obviously the fashion, the clothing, was the makeup.
Mm.
And this is where I gag because Mother Pat McGrath did the makeup.
Hmm.
I have never seen anything like. I don't have the words to describe how beautiful that makeup was.
Yeah.
Like, Pat McGrath, if you guys don't know, she's been kind of coined as one of the most innovative makeup artists of our time.
Mm.
Period. Like, coined that. And she is known for her work with texture and color and really bleeding sort of colors together in a
Oh,
really
yeah, yeah.
beautiful way. And, throughout her trajectory, she started working in the 1980s. She's just been able to work for all these beautiful fashion houses and really bring the clothing to white life because sometimes makeup takes a back seat to the fashion on the runway, right?
Yeah, that is true,
It
yeah.
takes a back seat, but in this particular show, I feel like the makeup stole the show.
Oh, yeah.
What she did was her classic sort of, bleeding
Like
edge makeup,
watercolors.
watercolors, thin brows, which are also coming back in style. Lord, please, not me.
Alexa's not ready?
Because my brows are so thick, child. I can't, my brows didn't
You
recover from
just
the 90s.
you just fully started embracing
I
them.
fully started, I
Well,
can't,
by just mean 10 years ago,
maybe 7.
7 years ago.
If y'all go back to thin brows, y'all on your own. Don't invite me to the group chat. But thin brows, but then what she did was lay over a sort of gloss glaze over the makeup,
Mm,
and it made all the makeup look like it was on a porcelain doll. Gaggable. Gaggable, like it's so
yeah.
good. It's so brilliant.
And it ties the theme together so nicely that was so distressed
Yes.
and grudge. And then some of them look like they had like facial not imperfections, but disfigurements into
Mhm.
them. They would put like some lines,
Like intentional sort of
kind of like
cuts
when they
and
would like how they used to do facial reconstructive surgery
mhm.
back before
Mm.
technology was great, and
Mhm.
people had these nasty, gnarly scars and
Yeah.
things like that.
Beautiful.
But the porcelain aspect of it, the reflectiveness,
Oh, so
contrasted
pretty.
the textured fabric pretty
Mhm.
cool in a sense,
Mhm.
and the hair was very dry and
Yeah.
non-reflective,
Mhm.
and so it provided a nice, interesting balance, and the faces popped,
Yeah.
and it was really nice effect.
I
I
love
thought that was
it.
pretty dope.
I did too. And sometimes runway, there are pieces of runway where it's like, you know, some of it you can see and be like, I would wear that. And I think that's a lot of where fashion had been too. Like it's wearable runway is what I'd been seeing a lot of. This isn't wearable runway, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
Like there are pieces of it that you're like, oh, whatever, but it's not wearable runway to me. It's fantastical. It's over the top. It's what you would expect
Yeah,
out of, this sort of thing. So fantastic work. I think this is probably going to go down as one of the best one of the best runway shows that we've seen in a long time. Noteworthy. And that makeup. I mean, Pat McGrath, by the way, she has her own makeup line. You guys are probably familiar if you're a makeup girly. Pat McGrath Labs. I think she launched in around 2015.
hmm,
Known for its beautiful foundations, really intense eyeshadow palettes that again have those sort of signature tonalities that she uses. Some of the best makeup in the industry. But yeah, like she is a legend, and to be a woman of color and to literally be known as one of the best makeup artists in the world is no small feat,
yeah,
especially in high fashion. So Mother
but
Pat
yeah,
McGrath, you did your big one on that one, sis. Good
yeah,
job.
major kudos there because
Major
the
kudos.
results speak for themselves.
And for those of you who are wondering, rumors around the internet, everyone was like, "Well, how did she do it? How did she get the glass look? How did she get the glass look?"
Krispy Kreme glaze.
No, but that's a good
Oh,
guess.
okay, it's not that.
Krispy Kreme wasn't involved this time.
It's not okay. Maybe next time.
What she did, the rumor has it, it's not been confirmed, but Cryolin, which is a professional makeup line, you probably haven't heard of it unless you do like theater makeup,
Okay.
cinematography sort of makeup, things where you have to build world and build characters.
Yeah.
But they have this product called Liquid Glass. It is a preparation that you put onto the face and you dry it. Like you spray it onto the face, kind of like you would with like a
Oh, you
makeup
spray
girlies
it?
know the airbrush
You spray it
airbrush tool.
with
Yeah.
an airbrush?
Yeah, the airbrush tool.
Okay.
You spray it onto the face and you dry it in layers, and it creates that sort of glass look. They
Oh,
think that that's what she used.
okay.
Probably diluted is what the assumption is. But it only costs $5.40, which is
Oh,
hilarious. But of course, now it's sold out. So you will not be able to get liquid glass
yeah.
because all the makeup enthusiasts have sold it out, and I doubt you'll be able to get it for months now.
Okay. Would you do it? Would you try that?
I would try it. Back in my day, I used to love taking self-portraits.
Mm,
If you care to scroll on my Instagram a little bit, I used to be a makeup and self-portrait girly. I'd literally just make myself up in any way that I wanted to and take
yeah.
photos for the art of it. If I was still in that bag, I would
Oh, yeah.
because I would like to see how it looked on me.
That'd be cool. I
Mhm.
think you have a good face for it.
Thank
Very,
you.
yeah, porcelain. Yeah, I can see it working.
Yeah, I may give it a try.
Love that.
But yeah, that's the news, honey. That's what the girls have been asking for and talking about, and I think very, very much worth talking about.
Love it. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Well, to try to kind of change gears a bit in a
Go
less
for it.
glamorous way,
I know. If
we
it's
had
not a
a
Lex topic,
this this is not glamorous because we took a trip to Lowe's, as one does
Oh
in their 30s
God, we
on a Friday night.
did. We did.
We went to Lowe's, and so we need to go to Lowe's. We need to get some new locks.
By the way, this
And
is on a Friday night.
Friday night, y'all. This is what we do on a
So
Friday night.
romantic.
We got off work, ready to go to
Yeah,
Lowe's, and we were so excited. We
really
jumped in a
excited.
car. We drove down.
I put on my athleisure and my crop puffer and went to Lowe's.
Yeah, we went to Lowe's, and then we just get so caught up in everything. We see the vanities.
I
We're
love
looking.
it
We're
there.
making comments.
Yeah.
We're assessing the aisles.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Lowe's has clothing now.
Yeah. Yo, when I saw clothing, I said, "Well, wait a minute."
So they got hoodies and T-shirts.
Yeah,
Non-branded
a
though.
lot of flannel.
Missed opportunity.
Missed
Because
opportunity.
that'll go hard a Lowe's hoodie.
I kind of want one of the vests, high key. If they sold the vests, you know how the
Oh,
Lowe's.
the work vest?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's you on your own on that one, babe.
No, I can do it.
You can work it. You
I
can
could
make it
pull
work.
off a blue Lowe's vest.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah, I could.
when you like, it's people like us that are infatuated with workwear.
Yeah.
That don't work with their hands. Like I got this whole Carhartt fit
You do.
that I wear when I cut the grass. And
Yeah,
like,
he wears the same outfit when he cuts it because that is his grass cutting outfit.
I got a Carhartt hat, a Carhartt shirt, and then people walk by and they're like, "That's a man."
Gregory, please.
Like they see this workwear on me and they're like, "That's a man.
That's a man.
He makes things
Doing
with his
man
hands."
stuff.
Quite the opposite, y'all.
Oh
I'm on
my
a keyboard
God.
all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love Lowe's. We're going down the aisle. We picked up a few things. We're excited. And we find the locks that we're looking for because
Oh boy.
apparently we haven't had locks. We haven't been able to unlock our house with keys forever. We never had keys to the
I'm
house.
ashamed to say it.
We never had keys to the house.
We never had keys to our own house. We have those like
We have a keypad.
digital locks.
Yeah,
y'all. We haven't been locked out of our house, but like
because we just relied on the buttons. We just
Yeah.
pushed the buttons all day
yeah.
and then get in. And then it was one cold morning. It started tripping on us.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, "Oh, it's not working. Let me use the keys they gave us." Put them in. None of them worked.
None of them working.
I
And we've never
tested the
tried
keys.
before that because we've always just got in the house.
It's been like 3 years
It's
we've been in this house.
crazy.
Over 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
well, no.
4.
No. Close to no.
Well, it's been a minute.
No.
It's been a minute. We've been in this house for a minute and we never used the key.
Yeah, that's the point is.
physical key.
Yeah.
So we're like, we gotta get these keys.
Mhm.
And it just reminded me of our realtor experience. The fact that we didn't have keys to our houses just kind of like is a sign as to how anticlimactic our home purchase experience was.
Yeah.
And we bought our house in like kind of like the thick of the pandemic.
We did. It was 2020.
Yeah, 2020 in the thick of the pandemic. It was social distancing.
Mhm.
But I feel, hot take, I
Speak
feel
louder.
like the real estate industry
Mhm.
took advantage of the social distancing.
Mhm.
Oh, let's be safe to do less for us.
I totally agree because here's the thing.
They're like, oh
No.
no, I can't go on that tour with you. No, I got this COVID.
It was just excuses
They
to
all
do
say
less
that.
and still get the bag.
Still get the bag.
And let me just say, in Florida, we have friends who are real estate agents.
Uh-huh.
All of them have done fantastic work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I am so used to seeing them post pictures of we bought the house with a little key.
The big key. The big key. Oh, the
I'm
little
used
sign.
to welcome baskets when people get their house. The realtors do a little welcome
welcome basket. A
There's
photo.
wine.
A photo op.
Yeah, cheese and meats and fruits.
Step and repeat.
You step and repeat. There's this, and some places have the
Y'all
step
know
and repeat
y'all,
when you
all
sign.
realtor friends that got all that, all those
y-
embellishments.
Y'all go
if you
over the top, and I love that for y'all. So I was expecting
Yeah.
for our realtor Frank, I
Uh-huh.
was expecting
A little more pizzazz.
a bottle of wine at least.
Especially first time home buyers.
Oh my gosh, our
First
first
time.
house, yeah. And we got nothing.
So we
Nothing.
I remember the day of signing,
Yeah.
and we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Frank's gone. He's
Yeah.
not even there.
A realtor isn't there.
He's
Like,
social
what?
distancing.
I was like,
I'm sorry, I can't
okay.
get there. So we're like, fine, we'll
Yeah.
sign our paperwork.
Yeah.
Sign our lives away.
And-
Biggest decision of our lives.
Yeah,
Committing
like,
to this thing.
a huge
We don't know anything
thing.
about this house.
Yeah.
We just kind of looked at it, had an inspection, and
thought
had
it
to
was
buy
good.
it. Signing all these paperwork,
Mhm.
and they're like, all right, y'all, bye.
Yeah, because here's the thing: we had gotten dressed
That was
up
it.
because I thought we were
Photo op.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do the key.
A key, you know what I mean? A commemorative, a gift
Yeah,
basket,
a
like
handshake
something.
and a smile, a
Smile,
congratulations.
A congratulations would have been nice too, right?
We got nothing. We were in the back of the, and it seemed like wasn't nobody working there, but the lady who signed it said, well, nobody there with her.
They would
we
like
were the last appointment of the day.
They slide the pin across the table and scurry out the room.
Hand sanitizer everywhere.
Right. And we're signing all this stuff, and then that was it. And I think I remember us like we went to go get the check,
Mm-hmm.
and we were so excited, and we get there, and it was just like that was it.
It's like we're giving you an absurd amount of money, and you don't even give us my photo op.
Give a photo op.
Where is the step and repeat, Mabel?
And we plan to do it.
I know we never did it.
It was we were so bad. Like, so the people that lived in this home before us, like they lived here only for like 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Their congratulations bottle of wine for
because
buying this house.
because they went with Berkshire Hathaway.
Was still in the house.
Yeah, they got a bottle of wine that they left. Yeah, we drank that because it was mine now.
It's like, I guess we'll take the left behind bottle of wine.
It's my house anyway.
But man, that was very eye opening. And then and then what triggered this, because the key moment, we had to go buy keys, but we never got keys out. There was no, here you go.
Yeah, that's another thing. There was no handing over of the keys.
There was no key.
We just reset the lock pad.
Yeah, we just reset the lock pad. And then I was online on Instagram, and there's this very successful New Jersey realtor that has these great videos where he shows these amazing homes, and he's like, for some reason, everything he sells is 20 minutes away from New York City. Everything he says, look at this amazing Houston, Texas looking house. It's 20 minutes away from New York City.
They be having these houses in Parsippany and be telling y'all it's 20 minutes from New York.
Probably in Staten Island.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. But there's the claim. So he had one post where it's like, here's what it takes to buy a certain house of a certain value. And I'm looking at these numbers, and I was like, the math ain't mathing. Because they're saying, he was suggesting, like, there was one example, it said $700,000 house. $700,000. He said $700,000 house, your credit score of 580 plus, and a down payment of $24,500.
That feels so low.
Which I did the math. It's 3.5%.
Okay.
And in the annual income, this is the most shocking part of it, which is where we're about to get into this and give some consumer advice. $160,000 annual income to purchase a $700,000 house, and that just didn't pass the sniff test.
No,
like
it doesn't.
Quick head math. It was like, wait a minute, if I was making $160,000, I would not want to buy a $700,000 house.
You should not. And there's a number of reasons why you should not.
Right.
Yeah, no.
So then I'm doing the math because, as we've revealed in the early episodes of Lovers and Things, first things we did out the gate, we made a tool for our listeners. We made a Lovers and Things home purchase budget tool.
Yes.
Which we will put a link to so you guys can get it.
Yes.
I know it was been a while, but it's available now.
We were supposed to do it before my bed.
So I run the numbers on the Lovers and Things home purchase budget tool.
Okay.
And the math came out to $4,194 a month on your mortgage.
Just mortgage.
$4,000 on your mortgage.
Yeah,
above
just
it,
mortgage.
right? And so I'm like, okay, $4,000. If you make 160 in New Jersey taxes and New York state taxes,
cut it in half.
Your monthly take home would be $92.50, right?
Yeah,
$92.50. So then I looked up, what do people suggest is your the rule of thumb for your mortgage to be of your income, like the percentage.
Sure.
They say you should aim for 28%
Mhm.
of your to not pass 28% of your take home income
Mhm.
to go towards a mortgage, like
Sure.
basically like a quarter of your paycheck,
Mhm.
a week check
Mhm.
should ideally cover your thing. I know there's some flex in that, but
Mhm.
this with this math they gave on this thing
Mhm.
on this Instagram post for a $700,000 house
Yeah.
with 160K,
Mhm.
it's 45% of your income,
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
almost half your paycheck
Yeah.
going to your house.
Cause here's the thing, it's like there's a difference between can you afford the home and should you?
Should you, right?
Should you be affording the home? Because I think a lot of sometimes we get into the situation where it's like, "Oh, on paper it makes sense. I can do it. I can do it on paper. It makes sense." But I also think lifestyle is very important, right? You don't want to become what people call house poor. You have the house, but that's just the house. You
Mhm.
have to furnish the house. The utilities on the house, right? The
Maintenance,
maintenance of the property. I'm assuming the
things break.
700,000 home is on land.
Yeah,
You have to maintain the
yeah.
land. You have to maintain like there's a lot to
That
go
that
into the
garage goes
home.
out, you
You're
gotta fix that garage.
yeah, right. And then on top of that, your mortgage is likely not the only thing that you have monthly overhead for. Are you still in a car loan or lease? Are you like there are other things that you have to
Yeah.
consider
Do you
there?
want to travel?
Yeah. Do you
Do
want
you
to
want
eat
to eat
out?
out every now and again?
Do you like to shop
You
a
know?
little bit? Then
Do you
maybe.
have responsibilities, family you have to take care of? Do you have
Yeah.
all these things?
Student loans are a consideration. I mean, y'all be,
Right.
y'all can defer them to the end of time if you ask me. But I
But
mean, that's something to consider as
it's a lot.
well.
It's 45% is too high.
That's too high.
That's too high.
In our humble opinion, it is too high.
Yeah, and then on top of that, sneaky thing about home purchases is
Mhm.
them taxes be going up. They'll just go up
Woo!
whenever they want.
Yeah, they will.
I don't know if they go down though. Do
Taxes
they ever go down?
nope, they don't ever go down. They just go up, up, up.
They only go up.
No, they don't go down.
So
But yeah.
this is the dangers
Mhm.
that I wanted to highlight, that we wanted to highlight,
Mhm.
and wanted to give that consumer advice to our listeners, and also share our lovers and things home purchase budget tool to
Yeah.
help y'all. Because like we talked about in the
Mhm.
past,
Mhm.
to buy the home, and you alluded to it, it's like
Mhm.
you got to furnish it.
You have to furnish it.
Also, there's like so many little things that we put in the tool to
Mhm.
help you like start to prepare for that,
Yeah.
because the move from your one place to another place,
Mhm.
there's so many expenses with that.
Yeah.
There's like you gotta pay cleaners to clean the last place.
Mhm.
You gotta pay movers potentially to move your
Mhm.
stuff over.
Mhm.
Ideally, you'd pay movers.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's all these expenses and on the furnishings and the turning all the utility transfers
Mhm.
and all these little transactions
Mhm.
that you have along the way.
Yeah.
And then and that's the thing. And also with 3.5% down on a home,
Mhm.
you will have to have mortgage insurance.
Ooh, no one talks about
You know,
that.
if you don't put like their LTV, your loan to value, I'm not gonna say put down because it's all about loan to value.
Mhm.
If your loan to value isn't 20%,
Mhm.
80% of the loan is to the value of the property,
Mhm.
you're gonna have to take out mortgage insurance.
Yeah. And
And
that
that's
is a
not fun.
monthly yeah, that's a reoccurring monthly payment on top of
The
your
regular
mortgage.
mortgage stuff.
And depending on how much your mortgage is, like it
Yeah.
can fluctuate in cost. So you have to think about that as well. And I also think that people have to consider that when you're purchasing your home, it's not just that $24,000 down payment. There are
Oh wow,
closing
yeah.
costs. In New Jersey in particular, you have to have a lawyer involved in your proceedings. So you're paying your realtor. There's also lawyers' fees
Title
involved,
fee,
title fees,
taxes.
taxes. It's not just it's not just the 24 like I
Yeah.
promise you, it's not just
It's
that
not just that.
$24,000.
Yeah, if you wanna have a smooth experience, it's not
Mhm.
just that. And
Mhm.
also, yeah, like we were saying, when you are finally in the home, it's not just the mortgage.
Mhm.
And this brings me into the point about owning versus renting.
Yeah.
Because online, everyone always wanna poo-poo on renters and
Yeah.
always want poo-poo, poo-poo.
Okay.
They
All
said
right. All
poo-poo.
right.
Everyone's like, "Yeah, poo-poo." So they always want to, talk bad on renters for like renting. It's like you're throwing
Mhm.
your money away. You're doing this and that and the third. But it's like renting is the most money you'll pay on your living expenses, whereas
Period.
owning is the least. That mortgage is the least you'll pay.
Yeah.
There's all the stuff you gotta slap on
Mhm.
top of that.
Mhm.
The utilities and all the stuff you gotta take care of.
Yep.
We just had to buy locks
Yeah.
for our doors because we never got keys.
So many little things.
Some of the other thing, lawn maintenance, all
Mhm.
the stuff you need to do stuff with your driveway, your
Mhm.
window breaks, you gotta fix that.
Lots of
And you
upkeep.
gotta have emergency savings for the home as well in case
Mhm.
the AC goes out.
Yep.
Or home warranty, you gotta pay
Mhm.
that every month.
Mhm.
Like, having a mortgage is the least you'll pay a month.
Yeah.
So, switching from renting to owning is
Mhm.
not uh, just a hasty decision that should be made. There's a lot
Mhm.
of considerations that should be had
Mhm.
on that type of move, and I don't think people should really. I know it's good to we would always encourage people to purchase,
Sure.
but, like, you gotta think about what makes the most sense, and you don't wanna put yourself in a position
Mhm.
where you're stressed.
Yeah, and there's
'Cause
lots of reasons why people would want to rent. I think for some people, depending on where you are at your life, you want to be able to pick up and move quickly.
yeah.
You may have a growing family and you guys are trying to figure out where you want to plant your roots, or like there's a bunch of
Right,
reasons why
location, you wanna be close to
location.
work or whatever it is.
Yeah, and some people prefer to live in particular neighborhoods that they know would be good for them and their family. And some people are saving up for those things. Like there's nothing wrong with renting until you get into a good place because look, once you sign your name on that dotted line, you are responsible for that home.
Oh, yeah.
When you break your if you break your lease, the worst that's going to happen
Yeah,
is,
maybe your credit score
maybe
gets
your credit
affected.
score be tanked for a little bit, but you'll be all right. If you do not show up for your house, that is a totally different situation.
Mhm.
So it's a level of responsibility you also have to consider as well.
Yeah.
Buying a home is no small feat, especially in this economy.
This economy
Might I say, in this economy, you got to make the right moves.
and you wanna be able to have some money on the side for incidentals.
Mhm.
It's one thing I used to love in my Orlando apartments
Mhm.
was that, put in a service ticket,
Ah, service ticket
maintenance
and
ticket.
good old so and so would come and just fix your
Oh my
problems.
goodness,
It's like the
anything
fairy
break.
godmother of her apartment
It was
living.
amazing. I
Wow.
had a blinds, the little cord on the
Oh
blind.
yeah, they would replace the
The
blinds.
end cap fell off. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can't possibly use this
Oh,
anymore." The end cap fell off.
I mean, what am I to do?
Put in a ticket.
Put in
Put in a ticket. I
a
put in a ticket.
ticket.
Blind string end cap fell off. Next day, all the blinds are replaced,
All the
right?
rides are at no cost to you, the
It was
renter.
amazing.
Wow, that's
Faucet's
crazy.
not you're not really I don't like the temperature. It's a little too hot. You put in a ticket.
You would have taken. They come and fix it.
Come fix it.
Oh my
Temperature,
gosh!
whatever you
And if you
want.
make
And
enough
then you
fuss
could be
about
like, it's
it,
too cold. And they'll come right back and
and they do it quick,
do it quick.
do it quick.
Now, we did move to New Jersey and
Oh, we
it's a little
learned things are
different.
a little different in Jersey. Yeah, Florida things are
You
like,
texted a guy,
yeah. What was his name?
George.
George. George used to be up in
George.
our house,
George
honey.
look at me like I'm crazy. Sir,
George, come fix
the sink
this.
is all right. And George, here's what I think. George was a Hispanic gentleman.
Yeah, we love George.
And how his name is spelled Jorge. So I'd be like, is it
Jorge?
really George?
I
Or is
was
it
like,
Jorge?
George, like Jorge, we're
I was
fine
like,
with calling you
we could call
Jorge.
you Jorge.
Yeah, we're not that like we'll call you Jorge.
We'll
You
call you
don't have
Jorge.
to water yourself down for
Yeah.
us.
And
We love
that
you.
didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he really was called George
Mm,
or if he was called Jorge and he was making us call him George.
yeah.
But I was like, look, we cool.
You don't got to
We
do
cool.
that. You don't got to do that with us. You know what I'm saying? Not with us.
You know?
Them across the way, maybe, but not
Yeah.
us.
We'll call you Jorge.
Yeah, easily, no
And
problem.
hit you with a Spanish salutation, if you
Hello,
will.
hello.
Buenos dias.
Bienvenidos.
Yeah. So yeah, renting was dope for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was easy. It's easy living, and I really do think that it. Some people also think, oh, by a certain time, I need to be stopping and stop renting and get into a home, or I'm too. You can rent for as long as your lifestyle
Mhm.
works for. I mean, because to Greg's point, that is the lowest you are ever going to pay for
Yeah.
your living arrangements. Once you get into a mortgage,
You got
that
everything.
is, yeah.
A door breaks,
Mhm.
there's no ticket system.
You have to fix the
You gotta
door.
fix your door.
If the faucet ain't working, you buy the
Yeah, it's
faucet.
too hot. You gotta turn that knob
Right.
on the gas heater.
And either you're mowing the lawn or you're hiring someone to mow your lawn.
Yeah,
Either way,
that lawn got to get
the
mowed.
lawn got to get mowed.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
Yeah, I think people really have to consider that.
Mhm.
I was gonna say something else about the expenses. I forgot.
Well, expenses, you mean in terms of, the day to day or what it looks like? I think the biggest takeaway is though that like when you're looking into purchasing a home and you're looking at what that down your month to month is going to be,
Uh-huh.
there has to be consideration for fluctuations in things that may come up, right? You may be comfortable with what that number looks like,
Yeah.
but just know that that is the base. And everything has to build, there are things that build on top of that, and I just, you want to be able to have flexibility for the fun things in life, for travel, for, your little guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a smart thing to do because again, in this economy, you don't know what's happening left or right. Like you don't know what's
Yeah.
happening. And you want to be able to have a little nest egg for in case anything goes left, right? And
Because
you
things
can't do that if you maxed out every single month.
yeah, and things
It'll
just
work.
break. Things break.
That
How many
too.
stuff I had to fix in this house that when we moved in here
Oh.
wasn't broke?
I think this is a therapy session. Let's unpack this.
Things just break.
Safe space.
We
Safe
had you
space.
remember the Great Flood, the first flood?
The Great Flood.
Yeah, when we moved in
Yeah.
and we had some neighbors that invited
Mhm.
us out to dinner.
Mhm.
And we're like, all right, let's go. We go get some dinner. And then Lex, we are dressed up, we go out, and then we come back, belly full.
Oh.
I'm three glasses of wine in. You know what I mean? And a glass of prosecco.
Yes.
And then we come in, and the basement had like water up to
And I can't even
our
remember why we
calves.
came down to the basement. We came down here because had we not come down here, it would have kept
And we kept
flooding.
flooding. The water heater broke. It
Yeah.
was just flooded our entire basement.
I mean, the water, like, there was no indication that that was going to happen. Nothing could have prepared us for
Yeah.
it.
And you're in your high heels with a
Yeah.
mop bucket.
And mopping in my heels, yeah, they're
And I'm
making it
back
work.
there like,
Oh,
when I
man.
get stressed, I just start complaining.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
That is
complain
so
the whole time.
true.
I was like, why would a water heater be designed to fail this way?
Yeah, it
It was
was
so dramatic.
crazy. But that's an example of
Yeah.
things that can happen in a home. And new build or not, I also think that people sometimes think, oh, if I have a new build, these aren't issues. Not necessarily the case. Sometimes new builds can be even more troublesome than more settled homes in terms of what happens over the years,
Yeah.
fixtures, things that aren't put in totally correctly. You just never know. So it's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
to consider.
Don't stress yourselves out because
Mm-mm.
these realtors, they're a great time. I love my realtor friends. I
Mhm.
love Frank,
Mhm.
all that. But quite frankly, once everything's signed,
Yeah, they gone.
they gone.
Mhm.
And you can't call them telling them I'm not feeling
No.
this. Like,
I changed my mind
they'll
on
be
the
like, sure, want me to help you
home.
sell it? So like as much at the end of the day, their goals is to connect people with
Mhm.
homes,
Yeah. That's
right?
it.
And it's your responsibility to work with your real estate agent,
Mhm.
give them very clear targets so that they can help you reach your goals.
Mhm.
And qualify what you qualify for is not equal to what you can afford
Yeah.
every month.
Mhm.
So definitely check out the home budget tool. And
Mhm.
if you have friends or family that you know that is in the market
Mhm.
to potentially buy a home,
Mhm.
you can send that over to them and they can like
Yeah.
type in stuff and
Mhm.
see what their budget would look like as they
Yeah.
move from a home that they're previously in to
Mhm.
the next one.
Yeah, and I just last kind of tidbit here and just reiterating what we said before, when you're using the home budget tool, you need to consider your take home versus your salary. I think that is critical. When we're thinking about, your annual income, you can't think of your salary. It's got to be your take home. So, I know most of us don't know what our take home is on the top of our mind.
Hmm.
So before diving into the home budget tool, just do that quick little exercise to really understand what it is that you're dealing with,
Yeah.
so you'll be able to make a proper decision based on the real numbers of,
Hmm.
what you're dealing with. And then also, fun fact, this is for people who are buying their houses with loans and down payments and all that kind of stuff. If you buying your house outright, you ain't got to listen to us. If you
Oh yeah.
put like listen, this is
Can't forget about those listeners
yeah,
that got
like
paid off properties.
yeah, who have paid off properties. This is literally for people who are
Hmm.
going to be engaging in some sort of loan offering in order to
Hmm.
purchase their first home. So do keep that in
Yeah.
mind as well. If your scenario is
Or
different, your scenario is different, and
unless
God
you're like
bless you.
refinancing, maybe you could use the tool.
You
And you
could
could
also
plug the
use the
numbers
tool to
in, put your interest rate,
refinance. Mhm.
and it'll give you your monthly how much you would pay every month.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you're someone who is not new going into the home, but if you're selling a home and you're expecting something there that you're going to put to it, there's different ways that you can use the tool. So I encourage you all to hop in there and play around and make it work for you.
Yeah, and I think the next digital product we should make
Hmm.
should be like a home budget tool.
Ah, yes,
Because to
our budget is solid.
give people like some visibility as to like, look,
Hmm.
when you're in a house, this is the stuff you got to budget for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and I think a big part of it is saving for incidentals, but
Hmm.
also like for a certain period of time, if you're as you're working to saving for your getting your nest egg full for ready for emergencies,
Hmm.
you can sign up for a home warranty
Yeah.
to kind of serve as a gap until you get there.
Hmm.
Because the home warranties are good for if something happens as you're on your way towards your goal.
Hmm.
Because God forbid something breaks and you got to deal with that, and it's just throwing off your savings plan.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's something to consider. A home warranty
definitely.
as well.
Very smart.
Yeah,
Very
but
smart.
I guess that's the thing we love is the lovers of
Yeah.
things home
Hmm.
purchase budget tool.
Yeah, I think it's something that you guys should explore. Again, we'll share the link so you can dive into it. Because the market is shifting. There was a time where things were like super, super high in terms of interest rates and things like that. There are rumors about that things are going to be shifting. So if you were holding out, and you want to start preparing, definitely tap into the tool. And even if you're just future forward, wanting to dream and manifest and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
I think being able to look at the tool and really decide what you can be in the market for will be helpful. So I hope it's helpful to you guys, and let us know if it is. We'd love to know.
yeah, and I just remember what almost forgot.
Oh, I forgot you had
I
forgot.
forgot. I didn't forget. I forgot. Now I was just thinking affogato. The
Avocado.
affogatos with
Ooh.
the ice cream and
Yeah,
the
ice cream
espresso.
and espresso.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
I might. Anyway, never mind.
Hard left,
So,
Greg.
when we were bidding for a home,
Hmm.
having the tool was really helpful in helping us understand the difference in like, all right, you
Yes.
bid this amount of money. If you
Hmm.
go up 25K
Hmm.
on a 30-year mortgage,
Hmm.
what is that really a month?
Yeah.
And it really puts things in perspective. Like it's like, oh my God, an extra 10K, or oh my, it's like $10 a month,
Yeah.
right? But yes, of course, on 30 years, that's a
Hmm.
lot.
Yeah.
But it really helped us with negotiating
Hmm.
for pricing
Hmm.
and really kind of getting, obviously we would do our comp analysis
Hmm.
in Trulia and the recently sold section.
Hmm.
Very helpful tool to look at how
Hmm.
much things are gone for in the
Hmm.
last few months or year. But then like dialing in that number, that final offer was really helpful to like really put in a number. It's like, oh, an extra few thousand here is like $8 a month, $6 a
Hmm.
month. It's like,
Hmm.
is that really going to break your budget?
Yeah. Hmm.
So it helped really with contextualizing that
Hmm.
final price with your month to month.
That is so helpful because yeah, I do remember when we were in the beginning of our purchase journey, we would get into bidding wars and we would lose.
Yeah, because we were like
We would lose
kind of
because
like
we weren't.
lowballing a little bit.
Yeah, we weren't sure whether putting an extra 15, 20, 25, or whatever would just totally shake our budget. But then again, yeah, the tool was really helpful because you saw it in black and white. Like it spits it out for you. If you go up this much in your bid, it's going to end up doing this in the month to month, and it was literally incremental
Yeah,
dollars.
like every 10,000 on a 30-year mortgage was like $4,
Mm-hmm.
something to that effect, or $10 or something. I
Yeah,
can't remember exactly, but yeah, it'll allow you to see that
yeah,
granularity.
and it helps you to be just a little bit more competitive, comfortably while
Yeah,
you're bidding. Hmm.
yeah. But we have a new segment. I
Yeah,
guess
we
it's
do.
new. It's
Yeah,
called
we do.
We Got Mail.
We
I
got
gave it a nail. Did you
mail.
know that?
No, I didn't, but I'm going with it. We got mail. Well, we got mail.
We got mail. Like,
Hey.
because this is a home theme podcast. Do I gotta explain it?
No, 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 no.
It's
We
like,
we get it. No,
okay,
no,
cool.
brilliant. And can I just say that this was an idea that had been brewing, but was confirmed by one of our most loyal listeners,
Yes, yeah,
Andrea. Thank you so much for this advice. We are going to take it,
yeah. They
roll with it.
suggested that we take questions and listener letters and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So we did get one from Andrea,
Mm-hmm.
and it was comments about the other episode where we were talking about Common
Mm-hmm.
and his dating history.
Ah, yes, because it was questionable to me.
Yeah, and
I
it's
had to dive
like,
in.
what is going on? It's like, what's happening?
Like, this
It's
is
like, now
chaos.
he's with Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
What is the end game? Right? What is he trying to get to? And she suggested
Mm.
that Common
Mm-hmm.
date Lori Harvey.
And can I just say, I love you, friend. You know I do. I
But
don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I see it.
No.
Who? It's like Thanos and Joker, like
Uh-huh.
two supervillains.
Yeah.
Lori Harvey is a supervillain.
Yeah.
She has bones behind her of just people who tried to climb that summit and just couldn't make it,
Yeah.
right? And Common has this history of elite women just couldn't make it to the ring. Could you imagine them coming together?
Okay.
It'll be like
I
the
agree.
Marvel Endgame Infinity War,
Yeah.
Thanos versus the the Avengers. You know, the star colliding with a unmovable object.
Yeah.
Two major forces in the toxic dating game of lack of commitment
But
and
let
lack
me-
of.
In
I can see
theory,
it.
it works. Let me tell you why. In
Who'd break up with who?
practice, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because those two people would never be with each other because they see each other. You know what I mean?
Oh, they spot each other's game.
each other's game. They ain't gonna do it. Common likes to prey on the meek and the mild and the pure of heart.
Yeah. You have predators and you have prey.
Yeah, they're both predators.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
predator's
okay.
gonna peep the predatory
Okay.
behavior.
I see that.
It ain't gonna work. And then,
Yeah.
like in practice, Lori Harvey's younger than his daughter. Like it ain't gonna work. But
They're probably
if she
best
was
of
a
friends.
little,
They probably like go get a glass of like whiskey
and how
together.
much you want to bet
and
Common
talk
been
over
putting
it.
her on game? Because those are some common moves that she
Common
has been
moves.
working with.
Elite. Michael B. Jordan.
Elite.
Right? Damson Idris. What is that?
Damson-
No, not. Is that name Damson
That's
Idris?
Damson Idris.
Idris.
Mhm.
Huh.
Not
Is
Idris
that like
Elba.
a British thing? Idris?
Damson Idris.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Damson Idris fell hard.
Oof.
I fell for my boy.
I think he really liked her. I think he genuinely thought it was a thing.
Uh-huh.
How easy they fall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Queen Latifah.
All right.
All right, I digress. I'm sorry, I digress.
But that was funny. In theory,
That's a
yes. In
good-
practice,
yeah.
no. But I see that both of them
That's a
play
good
that
movie.
game.
That's a good movie.
That's a very good.
Tyler
good
Perry,
movie.
wait,
Tyler
make that happen. You know,
Fly them to Atlanta and film
that's a
immediately.
good movie.
I watch it.
Well, yeah. So definitely send in your mail. So we got mail. I think it's a good title.
Yeah. And we'll make it a highlight on Instagram. Maybe we'll make it a
Yeah.
segment.
It is a segment.
No, I
we
mean,
got mail.
like we'll make it a separate clip on YouTube,
Separate
perhaps.
clip, yeah.
I love it. And I will say that there are a couple of ways that you can give us mail. You know what I mean? One of those ways is to just drop your thoughts into the Instagram, honey. Lovers and Things on Instagram. You guys know this. You can drop us a little line of any comments, questions that you have. We will respond. We will interact. But also, if you guys did not know, if you guys are listening to us on Spotify in particular,
Podcasters
by Spotify. You can actually leave us voice notes, and some of you do that already. We absolutely love them because it feels like you guys are in the room with us.
Yes.
You can actually leave voice notes, and we can hear you. Like, it's so fun. So those are two ways that you can interact with us. Also, leave comments under any of our posts, our YouTube posts. Like, we'll engage with you. If you have a question, drop it there, and we'll pick it up.
Yeah, because this is a back and forth.
Yeah, this is a community.
This is like, I liken this to like y'all hanging out with us, having dinner with us.
Yeah.
Just without the food.
Without the food.
And we're not covering the check.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're a wild boy.
Well, on that note, this was yet another episode of Lovers and Things. Keep loving the things.
And loving your people. It's so important.
All right, love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.